Everyone, I believe we are set to go. I would like to call to order the Public Improvement Commission hearings of May 27, 2021. First order of business, Mr. Liming, if you could call a roll call.
Certainly. Public Works Department,
Maharaj Jayasinghe,
Property Management Department,
Robert Melvin,
Transportation Department,
Amy Gordon.
Inspectional Services,
Brian Ronan,
Water and Sewer,
Denise Devlin.
and Disabilities Commission.
Sarah Leon.
All present.
Thank you, Todd. First order of business hearing minutes at the request of the Public Improvement Commission staff, the acceptance of minutes of PSC hearings held on May 13, 2021. I'd like to hear a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the hearing minutes of May 13th.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Minutes approved. Moving on to the public hearing segment of our agenda. First item, public hearing number 1, on a petition by Enstar Electric Company doing business as Eversource Energy for a ground-up location to install new electrical infrastructure within the following public ways in Roxbury: Gurney Street between Tremont Street and Station Street, Tremont Street at Gurney Street at Terrace Street, Station Street at Gurney Street at Halleck Street. This was brought under new business on May 13th, as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Ground-up Location Plan, Eversource Gurney Street, Roxbury, 3 sheets dated April 17, 2021, and further revised on April 7, 2021. Petitioner.
Good morning, members of the Commission. Dominic Rinaldi with BSC Group on behalf of Eversource Energy. With me today are Wally Agunlake and Ali Klein, both of Eversource, to answer any technical questions you have. If I may request to share my screen, if that's all right.
Go for it.
All right, so is everybody, give it a sec. All right, does everybody have that? See that okay? So to orient you, as the chair said, we are here requesting a granted location to install roughly 570 feet of 4-inch PVC conduit, a couple of handholds, and a surface-mounted reverse current switch in Tremont Street, Gurney Street, and Station Street in Roxbury. To orient you on the plan, north is sort of upper plan right. Down in the lower left is the Roxbury Crossing T station. Just outside of that in Tremont Street, we're proposing to install a bonding handhold to connect to some existing Eversource underground piping, run 4-inch conduit across Tremont Street, here it's shown in red, turn diagonally towards the center of Gurney Street. Primarily why we're staying in the center of Gurney Street in this first portion is to comply with the requirement of Boston Water and Sewer Commission to maintain at least 3 horizontal feet to their utilities as we run approximately parallel to them. At this point, before the turn in Gurney Street, we're proposing to install another handhold that'll be used for cable pulling purposes to reduce stresses and friction on the cables. Turning, staying, again, approximately in the middle of the street until we pass the T intersection, at which point we'll turn to the west side of Gurney into the sidewalk where we're proposing to install a reverse current switch, which will be in a small metal cabinet mounted on the sidewalk, actually mounted on a post on the sidewalk between 2 existing street trees out of the pedestrian path. At which point from there we'll stay roughly on the west side of Gurney until Station Street, turning into Station Street and connecting into an existing MBTA manhole there. We've provided plan and profile, as you can see in the profile, again shown here in red. for the most part, we're going to remain about 3 feet of cover on this piping, and with just in some areas having to dip deeper to go under various existing utilities, again, including meeting Boston Water and Sewer's request to maintain at least 18 inches of vertical separation as we cross any of their utilities. As I mentioned, the reverse current switch, we did provide a detail here. It is a relatively small cabinet mounted on a post on a concrete base in the sidewalk, pretty typical of things you'd see in the sidewalk. We will obviously be submitting traffic management plans to BTD as part of the process of getting street opening permits. We'll be looking to cross Tremont Street in two moves, one on each half, and then actually do a detour around the southern half of Gurney Street, where we'd be looking to detour folks on Tremont to, I believe it's Parker Street, which is roughly parallel to Gurney, and then back onto Gurney here if need be. Once we get past this intersection, we can hug the western side a little bit more and reopen Gurney with just typical street controls. I don't know if Wally or Allie from Eversource have anything to add. I will allow them if they want to add anything real quick.
All good, Dominic here.
No, you captured it. Thank you.
All right. I would certainly open it up to any questions or comments that the commission may have.
Thank you, Dominic. Dominic, can you zero in on the details for the pole-mounted electrical thing? I just want to get a sense of its size.
Yep.
How big is the package?
So the box itself, I believe, we don't have it on this. I believe the box is.
That is my concern. We are
It's
The
pretty small.
reinforced plan right there, Dominic, it's 2 by 2.
Oh, we do have it on there.
Yep, right on the top of that.
Okay, and what color is the cabinet?
It's your typical sort of,
The battleship gray?
yes, your typical steel
Gray thing, okay.
gray color.
We are obviously concerned about the infusion of this type of furniture within the public space, and we want to be sensitive of its color, its size. Think about it being put in right front of your house and the concerns which you have. So this is what we are trying to protect, as much as while trying to allow you to do what you need to do, but be sensitive to the urban design aspects of all of this.
Yeah,
Right, folks?
absolutely.
Good. So basically, it's the same size that I might find elsewhere in the city. Is that correct?
It's actually a little bit smaller than what
Wonderful.
you usually
Wonderful.
see.
Good stuff. Thank you. Any other comments or any comments by fellow commission members? Hearing none. Comments by PSC staff or members of the audience?
No, none.
At this point, I'd like to hear a motion regarding public hearing number 1.
I'll make a motion to approve a petition by NSTAR Electric for a grant of location in Gurney Street, Tremont Street, and Station Street as read into the record by the chair.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstain? Hearing none, motion passes. That concludes, thank you, Dominic.
Thank you all very much.
That concludes the public hearing segment of our today's agenda. Moving to the items under new business. First item, 267 Old Colony Ave, Dorchester Street, South Boston, pedestrian easement, specific repairs on a set of joint petitions by 267 Old Colony Limited Liability Company.
Good morning, everybody. Can you see my screen here?
Yes, we can, Robert, you're good.
Alrighty, well, I'm Bob Messenger from Howard Stein Hudson. I'm here with Michael Moore from 267 Old Colony LLC and also Guy Busa. from Howard Stein Hudson. He can address any TAPA concerns for the project. The project, as you mentioned, is 267 Old Colony Avenue. And I'll go to a perspective map here. We're in the South Boston neighborhood, and right through the center of the page here is Old Colony Avenue. The project site is a corner lot at the intersection of Old Colony Avenue and Dorchester Street. We are petitioning for specific repairs and a pedestrian easement for a mixed-use development. The existing project site is a retail space with surface parking, and we're proposing a 5-story mixed-use development. This will have 55 units, 60 parking spaces, and it will have commercial space totaling 8,000 square feet. If you look at quickly just a ground floor plan, we'll have 3 different commercial spaces for 8,000 square feet, and the 60 parking spaces I mentioned are garaged in the building. Primary access to that garage is along Old Colony Avenue. There's a shared driveway connection, which I'll touch upon in the next slides as part of the specific repairs as well. Moving to the specific repair plan. Firstly, there's curb cut closures. We have 2 on Dorchester Street, and there's another curb cut closure on Old Colony Avenue. And as I mentioned, primary driveway access to the new project will be via a shared driveway off Old Colony Avenue. There's an abutter here at 275 Old Colony Avenue that also has access to this shared driveway. And the existing condition is very undesirable for pedestrians. We got feedback from several city agencies reflecting that. So in coordination with the city, we decided to extend the new curb and new sidewalk with a city standard shared driveway detail. And we'll propose this all cement concrete, which will keep the pedestrians off the street for easy access, safe access. And we did coordinate our proposed design with 275 Old Colony, and they have no objections to this. Additional specific repairs, we have street trees proposed. There are 0 street trees out there in the existing condition. This project proposes 12 in total, 7 along Old Colony Avenue, and 5 on Dorchester Street. And we also have the city standard permeable pavers in the furnishing zone. These will be 3 feet wide by 8 feet long, I believe. Or those are the tree pits, excuse me, but the permeable pavers between. Also, we have bike racks, 9 in total. I believe it's 6 on Old Colony Avenue and 3 on Dorchester Street. Also, all this sidewalk up to the face of the building will be cement concrete on both Dorchester Street and Old Colony Avenue. And we are proposing new pedestrian ramps with the technical warning panels to meet ADA access guidelines. I believe that covers all the specific repairs.
Bob, can you hold on for a second?
Yep.
So your parking, can you walk me through how a car enters your parking garage of Old Colony Ave?
Yep. So the garage entrance is in this area here. The dashed lines, the solid blue here is the existing curb, so this will be removed. So they'll be coming down Old Colony Ave here and turn in to the garage here. It's close to street level. We raised it so it's about at the street level, so it's easy access to get into the garage here. Might
Thank you,
be.
Bob. The reason I asked for that
Yep.
is to understand the extent of your maintenance agreement, and it is for PIC staff and Chonglu. Whether the maintenance agreement covers that segment of the sidewalk, even though it is concrete, because sidewalk is going to take a beating up with the cars going over, and I'm of the opinion it should be your responsibility. Just want to make sure it has been captured in the maintenance agreement. Todd, would add some thoughts?
Okay.
Yes, my understanding is that that section of sidewalk will be covered by this maintenance agreement.
Yes. And Bob, you all do excellent design work. if you want to strengthen the integrity of that sidewalk space, whether you want to embed some rebars or whatever, it's up to you. Sometimes we put metal mesh to strengthen the thing. It's your thing, and you can discuss with PIC staff or city standards for concrete driveways that take a beating. Okay.
Sure.
Bob, continue.
Yep. So moving on to the pedestrian easement, you can see the dotted red line here. It's probably more visible on the plain sheet. So we're providing a pedestrian easement along the entire right-of-way for the property from the street line at Old Colony Avenue and Dorchester Ave to the face of the building. And we're providing greater than the minimum for pedestrian path or access widths. On this side here along Old Colony, you can see it's a little less than 9 feet from the back of the tree pit to the face of the building. On Dorchester Street, from the back of the tree pit to the face, it's a little less than 7.5. So there's plenty of access for these pedestrians.
Hey, Brian, how you doing?
And happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Bob. At this point, are there any questions by fellow commission members?
Yes, thank you so much for your presentation. I would just like to confirm that behind the property line, the pedestrian easement is at least 5 feet in accordance with the BPDA's Plan South Boston proposal for Old Colony. We'd just like to confirm that dimension.
From the property line?
Yeah, from the property line, I guess to the face of building, since the pedestrian easement extends that whole length.
Yeah, so from the property line to the face, it's less than 5 feet to the face of the building from the property line, but we are giving you the entire space. This total dimension is 8.7, but I believe this varies from 6.5. I think it's a little less than 5 in this area, but in some it is greater.
Okay, I think we, between these 2 weeks, may want to circle back with Jill Zick from the BPDA just to ensure that the BPDA is okay with that, seeing as the Plan South Boston plan for Old Colony does call for a 5-foot pedestrian easement. So I think 2 weeks we should double check that dimension and requirement.
I'll certainly follow up. And is this, from my knowledge, is this just Old Colony Avenue?
I believe so.
Okay.
But thank you so much for the coordination on the driveway, especially. I think this new proposal will provide a better pedestrian environment for both the residents and the residents of your abutters.
Bob, to further amplify Sarah's points, you have 3 ground floor commercial spaces that might take a level of excitement that might require the need to use some of the sidewalk space to, whether it's an outdoor cafe or whatever. So the setbacks which we are looking for through the BBDA is in consort with the type of street which we want to create. So we appreciate your abiding through those setback guidelines to allow the city and you folks to do what is needed in our mutual best interest. So if you could sort those details out to assist Sarah and the BPDA needs, we'll truly appreciate that.
Yeah, understood. Will do.
Thank you, Bob. Any further comments by fellow commission members on either the specific repair or the easement? Hearing none, comments by PIC staff?
We're all set on this for now.
Awesome. So we will mark this thing up for 2 weeks from today, which would be, or when is the next PIC? June
10th.
June 10th. Thank you, Bob. See you in 2 weeks.
Thank you for the time.
Next item, new business item number 2, 55 PFO Boulevard, South Boston, grant of location on a petition by Verizon New England, Inc.
Yes, good morning. My name is Ross Bilodeau. I'm representing Verizon New England. Do I have permission to share my screen?
Absolutely, Ross, go for it.
Okay, sure.
Ask if they have permission to do that. Do it. Let's try.
Okay, can everybody see that?
Maybe.
Yes, we can see you, Ross.
Okay, very good. Verizon is proposing to run 230 feet of conduit from an existing manhole 1372 in Congress Street. Like I said, 230 feet up Pier 4 Boulevard to tie into the new 55 Pier 4 Boulevard project happening. We're looking to run a total of 12 conduits, which will be for City Shadow, which will be terminated in a handhole. The other 8 belonging to Verizon, 4 of them will stub out 10 feet past this bend here, and the other 4 will connect to the 55 Pier 4 Boulevard project. So we're running up the street here from the existing manhole to the new building. And I believe that you guys had requested an updated plan. This is that updated plan, which should be sent to Todd today. We're just pending a PE stamp on our end here.
Thank you, Ross. Any comments, concerns by fellow commission members? Hearing none, PSC staff?
No, we'll take a look at the updated plan to confirm that it addressed all of PIC staff's comments. But as long as that's the case, then we should be all set.
Thank you, Todd. So Ross, we will see you in 2 weeks. We will mark this thing up for a public hearing on June 10th.
Very good. Thank you for your time.
That concludes our new business segment of today's agenda. Moving on to an administrative matter. The issue is the nomination of a let me make sure I say this, a vice chair for the Public Improvement Commission. So upon the nomination by Public Works Department to appoint Commissioner Greg Rooney and or his designee, Amy Cording, as the vice chair of the Public Improvement Commission. I'm making this motion. I would like to hear a second.
Para, sorry, Chung has advised me that we actually need to take a second roll call on this before taking a vote, just as an
Okay,
administrative matter.
so if you could do the honors.
Yeah, I don't need to take a full roll call. I just need to confirm that all members are present and that we do have quorum, which we do.
So can I ask for a second for the motion I made?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Ms. Cording, as the sitting member representative for the Transportation Department, welcome to be the vice chair.
Fulfillment of a lifelong dream.
Thank you, Amy.
Patiently, Amy.
That concludes today's.
Amy.
All right, that concludes today's business. I'd like to do a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. That concludes today's hearing. All of you have a very safe day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.